Alright everyone, I'm back in glorious Scotland, and yeah, I know I promised 3 videos from Germany and the Euros, but there just wasn't, so yeah. Really enjoyed myself, I must say. 2 weeks of wursts, beer, doner meat, and negative football. It was very good. Not sure I could keep up that lifestyle for long enough, and obviously sincerely miss all of you a lot, so we're back doing this, I guess. Yes. Celtic, let's go! Last time I spoke to you was from my hotel in Munich. It seems like an age ago for me. I don't know how it feels for you. At that stage, we're building ahead to Germany versus Scotland, the opening match of Euro 2024. It's been a great tournament, by the way. I've really enjoyed it, Scotland aside. The good news for me was that I managed to actually get a ticket, a real last-minute ticket for that opening match. It was brilliant. I then managed to get a ticket for the final match Scotland played against Hungary in Stuttgart just on Sunday there. So it was really great to get to those matches. Incredible, genuinely incredible stadia. I've been in both of them before, but the Allianz Arena, when it's full, as you can see, is brilliant. Stuttgart Stadium as well, fantastic. Both of these in the UEFA Champions League next year too. So we could be heading to either of these with Celtic. It genuinely was a pretty cool experience to go to games of that magnitude. I loved it. I was kind of pinching myself a little bit until the football started anyway. You'll be unsurprised to hear I was pretty disappointed with how Scotland played over the 3 matches. We didn't do ourselves justice, and for me, yes, Steve Clarke should be going at this stage. I think he's done a decent enough job with the national team, but I'll be looking to get someone else in who can take or make that next step at that level. I know David Moyes has been mentioned. I would definitely be for that. Here's a rogue shout for you, by the way. Ronnie Deila as the next Scotland manager. Yes, I know he's not Scottish. Scotland manager doesn't have to be Scottish, but just someone who would kind of play better football and more aggressive attacking football than Steve Clarke. So that bit of it was disappointing. I dare say for all of you Scottish people watching, it was disappointing as well. But it didn't detract from what was a fabulous couple of weeks. And for me, potentially the best country in the world, certainly when it comes to football. By the way, I should say, so nice to bump into so many of you out supporting Scotland. You all know who you are, who I spoke to over the course of the 2 weeks. Far too many people to mention. You're all very nice people as well. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. What about Celtic? Over to you. It's been 2 weeks since we did a video. How many players have we signed? No, don't tell me. Is it 3, 4, 5? What? Yeah, I forgot it was Celtic that we were dealing with. Why sign players nice and early when you can leave it until right at the death and make a mess of things? Yeah, we'll maybe come back to that in a wee second. The big news today is actually an outgoing. You've no doubt seen this. Haksabanovic has actually completed his move away from Celtic, and it's a permanent move as well. He is signed for Swedish current league leaders and defending champions as well, Malmo, or Malmö as the Swedes call them. Here are some photos from their official social media channels. As I say, he's gone permanently. He's signed a 4-year deal. So not alone, Sead Haksabanovic is no longer a Celtic player. He also took to Instagram as his favourite social media platform, I think it's fair to say, to post this, saying, "So my time at Celtic has come to an end earlier than I thought and expected and wanted, but some other people had another opinion and I gotta respect that. I wanna thank the players, the staff and the fans, because that is really what Celtic is about. We made some good memories together and I will always have love for Celtic. Good luck, and Celtic are effing massive everywhere they go. All the best in the future. So that was Sead Haksabanovic. He's left. I guess that was always the likely scenario ever since he posted that kind of ill-fated message on Instagram at the start of last season. Brendan Rodgers wasn't going to stand for that. I don't think he really fancied Haksabanovic before then anyway, certainly not after that post. And I know people are probably going to lay the boot into him a little bit, call him a complete dud and all of that. He was never a brilliant player for us, but he gave us a few moments. I looked it up earlier. 5 goals he scored for us all in that first season when he came to the club. Some pretty big ones as well. I remember a couple of spectacular goals he scored against the 2 Edinburgh teams, both at Celtic Park, both in 3-1 games. Very similar goals, cutting in on his right foot and kind of curling it into the top corner. He also had a big one against Ross County in a game we won 2-1 just before the World Cup break. Again, that was a kind of side-footed finish. And he scored 2 against Dundee United in one game. So all his goals came at Celtic Park. And I think that's kind of fitting in a weird way, because I kind of got the impression he was always more comfortable at Celtic Park than in like a more pressurised environment. And I'm not saying Celtic Park isn't pressurised. I'm saying like away from home against, other teams' supports. And I think the majority of those goals would have come off the bench as well. I think when he started, he didn't produce nearly as much. So, it didn't work out massively. I'm just glad that we've managed to move him on permanently without much hassle by the looks of things. I think it is one with a lengthy contract that could have gone on and on and on and could have been loan after loan after loan. He's gone permanently. Wish him all the best. I genuinely hope he goes on to have a pretty good career. He's going to a decent enough size club who fight for trophies. So wasn't to be at Celtic, but we wish Sead Haksabanovic all of the best, and we never speak of him again. That might also go for Dominic Livakovic, or Livakovic, depending on how you want to call it. He was kind of spoken about last season about coming in to be our goalkeeper. It obviously didn't happen. And then yesterday, again, Celtic's social media went completely crazy for about 25 minutes when a report emerged from Turkish media saying that Livakovic, who plays for Fenerbahce, would be coming to Celtic. I think there's something along the lines of a bid having been accepted. However, this was then rubbished by Croatian journalist Isaac Ante-Susic, who I've dealt with in the past, and he's always been really forthcoming with information and really reliable about Josip Juranovic and also Livakovic last summer. He tweeted this to say, Dominic Livakovic won't join Celtic. Not a single word was exchanged between Dominic, his team and Fenerbahce on that matter. Rumours from Turkey and Scotland were completely false. Everything was confirmed by his public relations agent, Stipo Dubravac. So there you go. Not really much point in chatting too much more about Livakovic, as it certainly seems like that's not going to be happening. The one thing I would say is don't trust Turkish reports. Sorry to any Turks watching, but when it comes to like transfer reports and stuff like that, in previous jobs I've been in, it's always been the Turkish ones are the ones to kind of keep an eye on and avoid, because they tend to spout a fair deal of nonsense. So no Livakovic. I think in the goalkeeper front, there's obviously been a lot of names thrown out there, and it would have been nice to feel a bit closer to a player coming in. However, I would say that we never know what's going on in the background with Celtic, and that may be absolutely nothing going on in the background. It may be everything. We could hear about a name very soon, and then 48 hours they're signing for the club officially. So keep that in your mind. But I agree. I'm guessing a lot of you in the comments will be saying that you're feeling a bit frustrated about how long things are taking already. And listen, we are still relatively early into the summer window. It's still got over 2 months to run. So let's not completely panic. but I guess there may be some early signs that this window is heading in a similar direction to the previous two, which is clearly haven't been good enough. We've kind of left things, and then not even got them right in the main in the end. So it's easy as supporters to be a little bit on edge and a little bit frustrated and anxious and all of that kind of stuff. The team aren't back in training yet. I believe they're back tomorrow, I heard. The new season fixtures are certainly out tomorrow at 9 a.m. So I think we're going to feel like we're into the new season, or certainly closer to the new season this time tomorrow. It would just be nice to get some new players in as well. Right, other things that I've picked up on over the past few days. Oh, a new soft drinks machine is coming to Celtic Park next season. Huge news and absolutely fabulous stuff there. I watched Joe Hart's interview with Jake Humphrey on the High Performance podcast as I was flying home yesterday. I'm guessing a lot of you will have watched this. If not, definitely check it out. It maybe be linked at the top right about now. Even if you just watch the 20 minutes when he's talking about Celtic, it's fabulous. There's a moment where he's gets quite emotional when he's asked about what his Celtic teammates did to help him through what was a pretty kind of hectic, great but challenging period at the end of his Celtic career after he announced he was retiring, and he said through tears, they just allowed me to be me. Which I thought was really telling. He also spoke about the team clicking under Brendan Rodgers and that being a big moment once the players realised what the manager was wanting from them. And I think that's very exciting looking forward to next season. So definitely, once you're done here, check that out. Finally, some good news for Celtic TV subscribers. I know some of you are out there, not the dodgy ones who use IPTV and stuff that I would never use like that. All 5 of our pre-season matches will be broadcast on Celtic TV, and it all starts against Ayr United next Friday. We then take on Queen's Park before our matches against DC United, Manchester City and Chelsea in the States. United States. Not sure if we'll look to fit in a game between Queen's Park and DC United. The Premiership season starts the week after that Chelsea one, so no real room there for one between that and the league opener. Although we did have James Forrest's testimonial in that slot last season, that may be a little bit of a one-off. But yeah, all the games are on Celtic TV. Keep an eye on the kick-off times there. They're all Celtic Park, so a few late night games ahead of you if you are based in this part of the world. Not for me, of course. I'll be enjoying it with my breakfast down under. Just on that, I've got a couple more weeks in Scotland doing Celtic PM videos out at 5 p.m. And then we'll be back to Celtic AM when I return back to Melbourne. Yeah, let's just get through this period. Hopefully there's some stuff to talk about. And chat to you tomorrow, everyone.